question of the day. Will this contraption allow us to compost faster? We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get this thing opened and assembled. I got a big, huge pile of dried leaves, which is the browns for the compost. And I've also been doing a bunch of mowing, and I have a whole bunch of this beautiful, wet, freshly cut grass clippings. And we got a whole bunch of manure to mix into our compost. So let's go! This is the WORX WG430 leaf shredder. Oh, it's heavy. This is supposed to be a toolless assembly. The legs just have these little push buttons. I splurged for the collection bag. That way I'm all branded with the WORX brand, but you don't have to do that. You can just use a plastic bag or a paper bag. And I think this orange ring right here, that's what you use when you're using a plastic bag. You know, it just helps you keep the rigid form at the top, because it's just going to fold around this thing. I guess that's the way it goes. Yeah. It already comes assembled with this trimmer line, and it also comes with 24 spares, because you're going to run out of these really quick when you're doing a lot of leaves. Right away I can actually see those trimmer lines being a durability issue, because they've used a very fine line. I'm sure you could easily adapt a thicker line so that they'll last a lot longer. But I'll figure that out as I get using this thing. Looks like this part just snaps on. You just push that, easy peasy. I actually just wanted something electric that I could quickly just plug in and it's good to go. I don't have to worry about mixing gas or buying gas, or because it's out here in the compost area, and all I'm going to do is just keep a little plug right here, and then boom, Bob's your uncle. It's a touch bit louder than I thought. I'll definitely be wearing some hearing protection. It's got some pretty good power for an electric motor though. 13 amps of power to be exact. I'm not really a huge proponent for safety, but I don't want to be getting old and I'll be blind, you know, and deaf. So I need the hearing protection before I get this sucker going. Yeah. Olive! What are you doing in the chicken coop? Get out of there! What are you doing? Are you crazy? How can you even fit in there? How can you even fit in there? Did you find some chicken poop? I know you did. It's all over your nose. Now, you definitely want to be wearing safety glasses, because just standing even remotely close while I'm putting the leaves in, I can feel chunks of things hitting my face. Now, it's not going in my eyes, but it'd be nice to have a face shield even. Also supposed to be able to shred wet leaves, but I find that hard to believe, and it's already getting gummed up on the sides here when you're putting big clumps in. That's why you'll notice what I'm doing is just slowly dropping the leaves in. You can't just pick up a big handful and dunk it in, because it's going to get clogged up. But on the bright side, those little line trimmer pieces, they're holding up, because that's a lot of leaves that I just did and they're still intact. But what is important is that I've already gone through half of this pile of leaves. Now, they're dried leaves, but they're kind of wet, so it's not really ideal. You should be doing this as soon as they fall off the trees when you're cleaning up in the fall. But I want to make compost now. Now, this shredder is supposed to shrink 11 bags of leaves into one bag. And that's really the ultimate purpose of this thing. If you're just a regular homeowner and you want to clean up the leaves in your backyard, but you don't want to have 50 bags lined up on your boulevard waiting for the yard waste truck to come and pick them up from the city, or hauling them yourself to the waste disposal center wherever you live, this unit will shrink the amount of leaves that you have. I'm sure of it, because I had a big huge pile of leaves right here, and this container sack thing here is pretty full. And I mean, that's a huge amount of leaves shrunk down into one bag. This is going to make some serious mulch, guys. This would actually be also useful if you're filling up raised garden beds, you know, the deep kind. Some people are using hugelkultur, as we've done, but this kind of shredded leaves will make amazing soil, and it'll help raise your beds, that's for sure. Look at this amazing leaf mulch right here. It sure did shred it. I also got some wood pellet kitty litter from Bubbles when she was in our house. And this is going to make for some good browns too. This is heavy. It's got to weigh a good 40 to 50 pounds. Whew. I haven't figured out the right ratios for this stuff yet, you know, like how much green, how much brown. And I haven't yet been successful in making really hot compost. So far, I've only been successful at making warm compost. The whole idea is to figure out if this gizmo, shredding the leaves up like that, will, in fact, make compost faster. I believe it'll make compost faster simply because it's smaller chunks to have to break down. That's, to me, just logical, no? Okay, Billy? We're also going to add some fresh pig manure and some fresh chicken manure to the mix. This was the first compost pile that I've ever done. This was done, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so. I'm going to dig it up right now and see what we can find and check to see if there's any progress of things breaking down. I didn't have a leaf shredder then, so all of the leaves that I put in here were whole leaves. Some of them were a little bit clumpy, wet leaves, so I don't know if it's going to do what I need it to do in a short period of time. I'm not seeing any worms or anything, but you can definitely smell the composty smell, you know? But there's still a bunch of whole leaves in here, like they haven't even started to compost down. Now, I know I put whole leaves in here, so I shouldn't expect it to be broken down in a month. But that being said, I also think that this is probably gonna take like more than a year to break down, maybe more than that. So that's why that kind of a leaf shredder should come in real handy, because it really mulched up all the leaves, eh? So it'll be a lot easier and faster to break down, I think. This pile seems a little bit dry though. I better add some water to it, and I still have to add some water to the other pile. If I dig right down right to the bottom of this compost pile though, it's starting to turn to soil. It's starting to look good. It's nice and damp. So that's a good sign. So this is day 2 of this compost. Let's check the temperature. Ooh, it's showing active. Showing active. It's almost 120 degrees. It's almost getting to 120. It's looking good. Almost. Yeah, that's pretty much 120 now. So that's a really good sign that I'm on the right track. 120 degrees. You could cook an egg in there. That's pretty cool. This is day 5 of this new compost, and we're up to 130 degrees, man. So I think that pretty much confirms it, that leaf shredder is allowing the compost to heat up a lot faster, mixed in with all those wet green grass clippings that I put in there. This is cool. Up on the screen here is a video of when I put together this 3-bin compost system if you want to go ahead and watch for me.